Man, what a great song to start the week with and kick off our second quarter with. I may there may be a new rule that we're going to start with only songs from the Blues Brothers moving forward. Jake and Elwood for life. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first sales meeting of the second quarter, and a very exciting one indeed, as we're going to be talking about something that I know is of great interest and importance to a lot of our agents who are working their way through, the growth of their real estate business and want to know how to better leverage social media, more specifically Instagram, as a part of that. So we have one of our top agents who does that extremely well in Shoshana Socher that'll be taking us through some key tips and tricks today. But before we dive into that, we spent the last 6 weeks working through these 6 personal perspectives. You are going to see these popping up on the training calendar as a part of our kickoff to our sales meeting. Looking way ahead to our business planning clinic in the fall. These are a very important part of that. So I wanted to throw these up. We worked through one each week for the last 6 weeks, but I wanted to give one last sneak peek. We're gonna be talking about something a little bit different following the next sales meeting, but don't lose sight of these. These are extremely valuable and important, and if you are struggling with something in your business or your life, right? This was an admonishment from my coach. He said, look, if you're hitting a wall with something in your role or your personal life, go back to these 6 personal perspectives and take a look at which one are you not protecting or representing as much as you should be, right? Is there a conversation around your commitment to self-mastery, right? Are we really focused on, is what we're trying to accomplish aligned with us being our best selves, right? Or are we spending time in the weeds or in the leaves, so to speak, instead of focusing on the 80-20, which is 80% of our results come from a very specific 20% of the tasks? Or are we being and remaining too entrepreneurial in the endeavors that we have? And do we not have the systems, the technology, the models necessary to break through? Is there something we don't know that we need to know to achieve more? Is there some lie that we are telling ourselves about what we can or can't do? And then finally, are we being accountable to the results, right? And do we have somebody who is helping, supporting, providing that accountability? So ask yourself those questions as you identify a gap between where you are and where you want to be. I promise you that the path forward is likely with one of these 6 personal perspectives. So today, as we look at our belief systems every week, we have really strong operating principles for our organization and for running our businesses right here with these beliefs. And I think that, as the market picks up and as we have 1,200 listings come on the market and 1,400 things go under contract in a weekend, the thing that is going to be challenged the most, I know we talked about commitment last week, is it has the potential to be the second one, integrity. And I'm not suggesting that anyone is going to intentionally do the wrong thing, but I want to encourage everybody, as you engage in a white hot market in a very challenging time, working with people who are emotionally and financially committed to the success of their clients, whether on the listing side or the buy side, you're going to be presented with some opportunities to take the high road. I talk to agents, it's really exciting to get a listing and, oh my gosh, it had 29 offers and my seller's got $30,000 over asking price and everything's really exciting on that side. And then in the conversations that have to be had with the 28 people who didn't win, we are not always met with the level of positivity, understanding, and professionalism that we out there in the universe. And so, whether or not this really ties to integrity, I think that it's important that we remember as we build careers in real estate and as we build businesses worth owning, the opportunity for us to win in the long game, right? Or as Simon Sinek says, the infinite game, by taking the high road, giving people grace, and putting ourselves in a position where we're the person that when someone reflects on their day, their week, their month, or their year, they think that person was a consummate professional. That person operated with the highest sense of integrity. And I know that this happens all of the time with our agents. And I only bring this up because I think that the coming months will present us with opportunities to show that off and be the absolute best versions of ourselves and live our values. And so I want to encourage everybody to do that. And if you ever need help, if you ever need someone to step in the high road for you because you don't trust yourself to do it, I am here for you. We are all here for you and would love to help. So congratulations on a great start to the year. Our first quarter was very strong as a company, and we expect that to continue throughout the year. Speaking of congratulations or happies, here's a set of people who are entering into another year with Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. Some heavy hitters on the rolls here, and want to say how excited I am to continue to be in business with all of these folks for another year, and wish you that this year with Keller Williams is your best one yet. And then happy birthday to all of these wonderful people. Another lap around the sun for so many great agents and so many great contributors to our company and our culture. If you see somebody on there that shoot them a text, shout them out, tell them you love them, see what you can do to celebrate them and another year on planet Earth. All right, speaking of big successes, our cappers from the month of March, we had 15 cappers in the month of March, and what a great time of year to cap, because you roll into spring market and everything that you closes at 100% commission. So congratulations to all of these folks. Heidi Huffman capping for the first time, Nicole McHale capping for the first time as an individual agent, Laurel Huston and Kelly Zakuro all capping for the first time. Zakuro, I don't know. I'm Kelly. I'm sorry. I love you, and that I would not bastardize your name if it was within my ability to do so. But congratulations to those folks, first time cappers, and everybody else. No love lost for our perennial cappers. And I know that we will see many of you there in April, May, and June as well, as we know we're rolling into a very big quarter. And speaking of big quarters, all of these folks took a very big step with their real estate careers, either migrating their existing license to Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan or starting their career here. And so we are thrilled to have had 16 agents join our company last month and either join teams in our market center, our coaching programs, or bring active businesses here. Thrilled to see that our organization still and always will attract top talent and put us in a position to continue to be the #1 place to do business. And then finally, just a reminder, we are hiring. We still have an open position for the assistant market center administrator role. I know I've reached out to a few of you about this. It is a great opportunity to be a part of a really talented and professional real estate team. I think it's also worth noting that this person does not have to work with me directly, which should be like an added bonus as far as anyone is concerned. And then we are also going to open up a position for a director of growth in our Rocky River office. So this individual would be responsible for helping to continue to grow our Rocky River office with both newly licensed and actively licensed agents. And this person would operate in a recruiting and consulting capacity for agents in that ecosystem. So if there is anyone that you have in mind or you think that would be interested or is interested in being a part of the #1 real estate organization in Northeast Ohio, we'd love to hear more about that. You'll see some more information coming out in the coming week, and we will go from there. All right, so we have an awesome month of training here in the month of April. I want to draw some specific attention to a few things. First, our office is closed for Good Friday on April 15th. So no commissions will be processed that day. Everything that would be received that day will be processed on Monday. And then on April 22nd, our MCA team is out of the office. So all commissions received there will be processed on the following Monday. I want to give you guys some awareness to that. But as far as events go, we do have 2 career nights in the month of April, next Monday in Pepper Pike, and then 2 Mondays later on the 25th in Rocky River, as we had a great turnout to both of these in the month of March, and I am positive that that will continue. And it'll be they're a ton of fun. There are laughs, there are no tears. There's a lot of excitement. And we love, as always, having agents in the room to provide perspective and insights on everything that we're talking about from the actual consumer standpoint. So really appreciate all of the referrals. I do want to call out, we moved these to 6:30 p.m. instead of 5:30 p.m. moving forward to make it more accommodating to folks who are working full time and aren't getting off till 5 or 5:30, so that we can allow them to make it there, settle in, and still have a great night. So our first big event for the month of April is going to be this Your First Deal. So historically, guys, we've done these as a setup of, hey, every week for the next 3 weeks, you're going to be hearing from one of our partners about their role in the transaction. And we said, hey, what if we made this a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more involved, and followed the flow of a transaction, right, through where you would tap into the folks across country. Where do you tap into title? What can you expect from title? How can title help you? And then where in the process do you bring up or bring into the equation the home warranty? And so I think that in a vacuum, all of these things make sense. And, it's just like when we start to bake a cake, I think we need to understand what happens first, second, and third, and how to put that all together. That's what this is focused on. So if you are somebody who's, even if you've done 4 or 5 transactions, I encourage you to show up to this, because it is going to be really impactful in terms of knowing how to leverage an existing team that you have in your organization. Like those of you who are like, oh, I'm not on a team, you still have the leadership team. You still have your mortgage partners, your title partners, your preferred warranty partners, our property management company. You have an ecosystem that you can draw on to deliver top-notch service to your clients. And then for those of you who are in consistent production and looking to scale, the first thing that you add to your business to scale are stronger systems, right? Sometimes we think that it's hiring. Sometimes we think that it's more leads. Sometimes we think that it's, anything under the sun, a piece of technology, but it is having a strong system. A strong system allows you to leverage a piece of technology, right, to funnel more leads. And so we have 2 of our top systems people in the company. Between Alex and Liz, we estimate that they have closed easily over 1,000 transactions supporting agents and teams or their teams over the last several years. And so we are going to be breaking down whatever piece of the puzzle you want to build a system around. Hey, how do I respond to, clean and sort leads? How do I get from contract to close? What's the perfect way to funnel things from a new listing standpoint? Whatever it is, this is going to be a workshop. It's not a class. We're coming together. We're putting people in the room. We're identifying the things that we want to actually build a system around. And there's going to be hands-on construction of do this, then that, and if this, then that, so that you are walking out of there knowing every single time my phone rings, here's the 5 things that are going to happen afterwards, or as soon as something goes under contract, I do this. It will be really, really powerful. It is limited seating, so if you are signing up, please make sure that you are there and come ready to play. And then our big event for the second quarter is our Q2 kickoff. So we're very excited to have an awesome lineup for you. We're going to be getting together at the Independent Civic Center. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. doors open, and we're going to do some mixing and mingling and have breakfast and coffee and snacks and all that fun stuff so that everybody can see each other. We're then going to talk a little bit about what happened in the first quarter, what's coming in the second quarter, and for the rest of the year. We're going to see a couple of great agent panels. We're going to hear from some of our top business owners about how they built their businesses. And then we're also going to learn from some folks who have been in the industry for a couple of decades and have seen the market shift before. And they're going to talk a little bit about what you do in a market shift to navigate it, to protect your business, and to still grow your business. And then we're very excited to have our keynote speaker, Dr. Jerry Hendricks. He's coming in from Washington, D.C. Dr. Hendricks is a retired Navy captain, PhD, Harvard grad, but he has a really, really strong perspective on what the future for Northeast Ohio looks like in the face of the changing global climate and the shift from globalization to regionalization. And so he's going to talk a little bit about what that looks like, and what the next couple of years and what the next couple of decades could hold for Northeast Ohio, very specifically. So very excited about that conversation, something unique to bring to the table and to excite you about building a business here. And then mark your calendars if you have not already. Red Day is right around the corner. We are in a position to have a really, really great turnout. I think we have spots for almost 170 volunteers and counting. So those will that'll be released very soon, so you can sign up and get your spot. And please know the office is closed this day, as well as every Keller Williams office in Northeast Ohio shuts down, and we all go out and do service in the community as a way to renew, energize, and donate. And then finally, anything that you have the unfortunate circumstance of missing on our training calendar will be recorded and put on our YouTube channel. And so we are very excited to have that as a place to store all of the great content that we produce from a training standpoint. So if you ever miss anything, pop on to Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan Training, search for that on YouTube. And just to plug, if you've lost a multiple in the last week, please go watch the Mastering Multiples with Megas, which was an incredible class that we saw a lot of folks have a ton of success after stealing some tips and tricks from some of our top agents. All right. So as we near the top of the hour, I want to maximize the conversation that we're going to be able to have with Shoshana and part of her systems and processes and success around leveraging Instagram. And so very much looking forward to this one. And Shoshana, I believe you are in a position to, you have share screen capabilities at this time. You're currently muted.
I would like to have share screen. Oh, now I have share screen. Yay.
All
Hello,
right.
everybody. Let's It's always fun to decide which window to share, you know?
It's a very nerve-wracking moment every Tuesday morning for
Every
me.
time, it doesn't matter
Yep.
how many times you've shared your window, but it is always an interesting moment. First of all, while I'm getting kind of set up here, one thing I want to say is that let's just go here like this and see if we get a full screen. Tell me if you see what I see, which is a full screen. No, we don't see that because who knows why. Yeah. Real brief, Mike, I'm super excited and I'm really honored to be the last person who's on this Zoom meeting. I'm super excited to all be in person next week. Two things: I know that I'm not the only person who thought that Jimi Hendrix was coming, and that was really shocking from different angles. But also, I just want to say that make sure, if you're newer in our brokerage, to make sure to introduce yourself, because you know what it's like. We're very, very friendly brokerage, and yet I feel like sometimes, you know, everybody gets new and you're like, wait, do you know each other? Do we know each other? You know, when somebody's new, they're not new, who knows who anybody is anymore. So just remind everybody, talk to everybody, make friends with everybody in the room, because everybody is wants to be friends together. So anyway, today we're doing Instagram from hidden to visible. Stay with me till the end. I do have a special bonus for you that Riley's going to link. And I just want to say that this will be more purposeful for you if you have turned off all distractions. Now, the cute thing about Instagram is it's all about your phone. And funny thing is, I ended up hopping on an airplane to go see my mom for her birthday. And you can see the sunrise with me in San Diego. So I'm sitting here. I'm from San Diego and I actually don't have my phone with me. So that's really the irony of the situation, because my phone's downstairs. Anyway, let's go like this. If you were with me in the 4 Disciplines of Execution book club, I wanted to tell you a little pregame bonus tip. Now, I have this blue notebook, which I finished up last week. I filled every single page. And I just like to show a little tip about how I use paper, because I think that paper can be a very helpful thing when you're taking notes. And I hope you're taking notes today, or you're planning to watch the replay, or you got your phone out so that when we get to the phone part, you can just follow along the steps. But the pregame bonus tip is to open your notebook or whatever you write on, and to create yourself at the very end here, to create an index. You can see that I have the word index written there. And every time I open a page, I write down what page it is, not if it's a date, like if it's April 5th, like it is today, I don't put that in the index because that's just dated sequentially. But if I have something like last night when I was on the plane, I was planning my social media for the week. So that's number 2. That was page 2. And I came up with a theme for the week: how many reels, how many stories, how many this, how many that I'm planning to do. Then after I got tired of that and I was listening to some podcasts, I have page 3 is podcast notes. If you're listening to some sorts of podcasts, you might want to take notes on what you're listening to. But anyway, the point is that the index really makes this a useful tool, so that when I want to remember that tip that Mike Rapasky told me during the meeting, I can go back to the Tuesday meeting page on page 3 or whatever and grab the tip that Mike told us. So anyway, that's my pregame bonus tip before we dive into Instagram. So you are in the right place for one of 3 reasons. And I want you to drop in the chat which one you are. You're either brand new to Instagram and you want to go from feeling totally hidden to being visible, or you're newer to real estate and you're not sure how to use Instagram as a lead gen tool. Like, let's say you've been on Instagram for a long time, but you're not sure what to do with it. Or you've kind of been around both for a long time, but you're ready to up your game. So real quick, reach over and type 1, 2, or 3 into the chat. And they're all very valid reasons. They're all super valid reasons. 1, 2, or 3, new to Instagram, new to real estate, or you've been around both for a long time and you're totally ready to up your game. Okay, good. A lot of interesting ways to think about social media. I know, back in the day, everybody thought we were just playing. Guess what? We are not playing. We are playing for real. We are playing for real. And that's our businesses and how we plan to actually do them. So basically it goes like this. There's some Instagram basics that matter. And the Instagram basics that matter are your profile, your content, and your engagement. And I'm going to show you something about all three and explain what I mean by that. So it goes like this. When you get all three in the right place and really, working together, what they really create in the end is leads. And I know every single person in real estate, I've never been a realtor who didn't love leads and didn't love a way to nurture and take care of their leads, which is we're really big on over at our team. Here's the interesting thing about your profile. Your profile really matters because ultimately it's your digital resume. It's literally, I think of it like a website. It is your website. It can help you stand out. I don't know if you know this, but it's searchable and it can be tagged and shared and mentioned by other people, which is really where a lot of the magic happens. So let me take you through what we're going to do today. And you will need your phone. Like I said, mine's in the other room. You will need your phone and try hard. I know it's hard to not check your text messages, just dismiss everything as they come in, because we're going to be working today like this. We're going to be working on choosing your account type. We're going to work on picking your best profile photo, choosing an effective name, and crafting your bio with purpose. Really important, really an important key here. So did you know that there are 3 different types of Instagram accounts? And if you're brand new to Instagram for any reason, IG is just Instagram. So there's the personal account, the creator account, and the business account. I'm going to take a real brief run through the kinds of accounts because I think that this sets up a nice foundation for what we're going to do in our businesses. So the personal accounts can be set to private. If you're a partier, you might want to have your account private. All the girls in college had theirs private, I'm sure, but there are good reasons not to. Has everything basic. You can link this to your Facebook, which is why you see people posting on Instagram, and then you look at Facebook and you're like, that's the exact same thing. What's going on here? There are some downsides to this, though. There's no insights, no analytics. You don't know what people liked. You don't know what times you should be posting. There's no contact details. Now, as a real estate agent, I'm pretty sure that you want people to be able to contact you. If you don't, we should have a chat because then this might not be the class for you. And it's got some really limited features, and that's a problem for us in business. So who needs the personal account? The personal account, is really for people who don't focus on content and they aren't selling a product or a service. I love to look, my nieces are in high school, and I love looking at their Instagram accounts. I love looking to see what they're into, the music and the fashion and the photo styles and their hobbies, this and that. But they're not selling anything. They don't have a service and they're not in business in any respect. So I would say that category of people who aren't selling and aren't in business, want to have fun and they want to connect with other people. And that's a good reason to have this type of account. However, every single person in this room or this virtual room is in business, at least I think you are. And I want to talk about what having a business or creator account can do for you. So this account will give you business or insights, and you might notice, why is it at 6 p.m., if you happen to look at Instagram at 6 p.m., a ton of new posts come in? That's because a lot of people have seen that the engagement at 6 p.m. is really high because they've looked at their insights and they've seen what time to post. You have an ability to run ads. I mostly do not run ads, but one could run ads from their Instagram account. And it will display your business in your contact details. Yes, I want people to contact me. I want my phone number public. I want my website public. I want whatever it is public. And my Instagram, it bears saying again, functions as a mini website. So Let's talk about, oh, and then also we can add links. So if you're trying to drive in your stories, you're trying to drive traffic to a particular site, you can put a link there, and that's how you can shop on, other people's sites. Then you also have better messaging options. You can have groups, you can do all kind of interesting, fun things in the messages. Now, let's talk about some things that you might consider negatives, but you cannot set this account to private. That's sort of interesting. This must be linked to a Facebook page. So they are integrated. Remember, they're one and the same company. And you can only link to one Facebook page. So you're not going to be linked to, your personal, your business, this and that and the other thing. But you can post on Instagram. It will link to your business Facebook page posted also. And then you can share that onto your personal page if you want that everywhere. Now, briefly, let's talk about the creator account type. The creator account type is really for people who are influencers. And I don't know about you, but if you turned on Instagram, got your account, you're like, I'm going to be an influencer. Maybe you are. But it turned out along the way that I was like, oh, I'm not going to be a creator. That's just not what I am. I'm in business. I'm a real estate agent and I run a real estate related business. And if you're interested in insights, that's useful as a creator, but you'll have those in business too. And it is a step up from a personal profile, but we consider it a step down from a business account. So we're going to not do that either. Now we're going to move on to what we're really going to do here, which is the business account. These are people who want to look professional, trustworthy, and have a place where clients can contact you. What I heard from my people who follow me is just here locally is like, they're like, I may not look at every single thing, but if you're gone for a few days, I notice. And I thought that was a very interesting insight from other people. So these are for people, again, who offer products or services, and they want to use Instagram as a strategic tool. The keyword there, well, two keywords really, being strategic and tool. And if you want to run ads or have promoted posts, and if you want insights that will tell you not only what time to post, but which content is working and what's resonating with your followers. The point there is that then you can try to duplicate that and create that content over and over and over again. So you have personal, best for just fun perspective. You have creator, best for influencers, and you have business, best if you're selling a service or product. And I think pretty much everybody here knows where we're headed. Yes, indeed, business. And I think I said this, but if you have questions along the way, throw them in the chat. Riley's monitoring the chat and will interrupt me and my soliloquy about Instagram. Okay, here we go. Ready? I'm being very brave. Pick up your phone. Pick up your phone. Got it? Okay, go to those, open up Instagram. Okay, got that. Go to your three bars on the top. Okay, you're going to settings. Select settings. You can follow right along on my screen here. Then account. Got that? Good. Then we're going to scroll to the bottom and click switch account type. Okay, now, if you have a personal account, you'll be given the option to switch to a professional account, and then you can switch to business or creator. If you already have creator or business, you're going to be given the option to switch to the other, to a personal account. Don't do that. If you're a creator account, switch to business. Either way, at the end of this, you should be a business account. Okay, I think that's pretty straightforward there. If you're not a business account yet, become a business account here. Now we're going to move on. That's your account type. We're going to look at profile pictures. And I have a few things to say about profile pictures. What we're looking to do here is to show your face. Look at your own picture. Look at your picture in your profile of your Instagram. And you can do this desktop, but you need to look at your screen of your phone. And the reason it's important to look at your phone is because that's what everybody else is looking at for you. You want to show your face. You got to smile. because guess what? You're happy. You need to crop and resize your face so that you're not totally shrunken in and you're not like, half of your face cropped out. You want something super clean in your background. Now, your background, you are in real estate, so you could use a doorway, a hearth, somehow indicate that you're in a home. But really, if you look at mine, it's a very super plain background. You want a picture with good lighting. And take your profession. Oh, this is where we get with the doorway. Take your profession into account, because I really think that a realtor could show something that indicates that they're in real estate. I'm actually looking behind Maria, and there's a brick wall behind you. I think that looks really like that could actually be a really interesting Instagram background, because brick indicates a building. So just, things like that. Okay, here's what we're not going to do. Do not have an off-center photo. So nothing where you're kind of like weird looking. This isn't something you're going to have to update frequently. You can change them out, here and there, but you want it to be super consistent, because once you have your photo on Instagram, you want it the same on Facebook, the same on your Google account, the same on your website, et cetera, et cetera. It becomes a pain in the neck to change. So keep something that's like that you're good with. Don't use a full body photo, because first of all, we're not in a modeling industry, we're in the real estate industry, and we really want people to know us by, our face, what we look like. Don't take only one shot during a photo shoot, take a whole bunch, because look, in the end of the day, we're all want to look like we want to look, and you take one shot and you're like, oh, I didn't like that one. Take a whole bunch of them so that you can come back later and like what they look. And this is what I was saying before as well. Don't use different photos for different platforms. It's very confusing for people. Use the same photo across platforms. So whenever people see it, they recognize you. Interestingly, they will start to see your shape. So even though they may not pick apart your features, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, etc., they're like, oh, that's the so-and-so, photo that I'm used to seeing. And it just becomes the things they're used to seeing for you. So here I have a couple of examples. I hope these make you laugh. We have too close, too far, and just right. So just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, the way you want your photo to look. And I did try, you'll see one of my Facebook accounts has my face, I'm holding my phone. And somebody pointed out to me that on Instagram, it looked like I was just touching my face. It's really small. So I ditched the phone photo and I just have my face. The other thing we're not doing, I think, let me go back one thing and say this, which is that no cartoons, no emojis for your Instagram, like just really you're in real estate and you are building that trust factor. And the only way people can get that trust factor is to know that it's you behind the, behind the account. Okay, now we got to nail the name. I don't know what your name is on Instagram, but listen up for a couple of minutes. I don't want to show you a couple of things. There are two kinds of names. There's your username and there's your profile name. And they can be the same and they can be different. There isn't magic to it. There's just a few little things that I want to show you about this. And they go like this. First of all, your name. Sometimes we call it your handle. It's unique to you. It's searchable, it's taggable, and you can have unlimited changes. So as you see, I have here Shoshana Socher. Now, I have heard people complain, oh, my name is really hard to spell, or my name is hard for people to get. I'm like, look, if you have a name like Shoshana Socher, it's hard too. Like, it's not an easy name. But I still think people have to be able to find you. And I do think your best bet for your username is just your name, because people ultimately are looking for you and they're looking, for you by your username. Okay, so that's my personal approach there. And I know a lot of people have realtor, real estate agent, etc. in that username, and that's okay too. The profile name, however, is also searchable. It helps with SEO, search engine optimization, meaning that people can really search that. And it does show up and you can only make 2 changes within 14 days. So here, As you see, I have used Cleveland, real estate, and expert. And I consider those three separate kind of categories. Cleveland, in case anybody's looking for something in Cleveland, I want them to call me. Real estate, in case they're looking for somebody to do with real estate. And expert, I consider myself an expert. You can also use emojis here, and those are searchable as well. So if somebody was to search, I'm on a Cleveland real estate agent, expert, whatever, they could find me based on that search. So that's kind of an interesting thing to play with, the username and the profile name. And you might want to trade that up a little bit depending on how yours is right this minute. Now, choosing an effective name, it's an interesting thing. You got a 30 character limit. So let's go back again with this Shoshana Socher thing. I'm like out. I'm out of characters. So that's it. I do like using my name. I do think it can be searchable. I mean, not think it can be searchable. I know that it's searchable. I like it's something to be easy to remember. I'm talking about the account name here is that I want it to be something super easy and I want it to be something super relevant. And, I know no things that are hard for people to remember. If you have, stuff where people are like, what was that girl's Instagram account? And did she have numbers mixed in with I don't know, that's just really, really, really challenging. And again, you want people to be able to find you. Recently, I've been working on following my clients, and a lot of them I can't really find because they've used interesting iterations of their names. Again, drop any questions in the chat. Riley, I'd be happy to interrupt me. So now we've got the name down. Now we got to talk about the bio. Let's talk about, do we have a picture of this here? Oh, sorry. No, I'm going to go back for just 1 second, guys. Sorry, but the eyeballs and I want to talk about the bio. The bio is the words under your profile name, right? Oh, one little thing, do you see in the gray there where it says entrepreneur? When you're picking what category of business you are, entrepreneur gives you the most music choices. That was the most important thing to me, was to have the most music choices. So even though you could do something a little more industry specific, I chose entrepreneur there. Okay, let's talk about your bio. You're gonna get really deeply purposeful with your bio. Your bio really is your mini website. It's where you make a promise to the people who are bothering to look at your Instagram account. Here we go with the character limits again, 150 characters. You want to use some keywords. You want to mention your niche, your authority, and again, this promise that you're going to make to people. I'm going to make you a promise. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to, not in real estate, obviously. I'm going to wash your car. I'm going to organize your house. I'm going to, whatever your thing is that you do, health and wellness, whatever your thing is. You can use emojis. You can use hashtags, because both of those are searchable, and you need to have some sort of call to action, and you want to capitalize on the limited spacing that you have. A little hack here is to open up a Google Doc and just start typing, editing, and then you can go up to the top and use the tool to get your character count. You do not have to do it on your phone, which is all tiny and you get your thumbs involved. Anytime you have your thumbs involved, it's not going to be good. Okay, so here we got some keywords here. Again, expert, I get expert in there. And I want to show you some other things that I have. I have CEO. I do happen to have 2 Instagram accounts, which actually I don't recommend. So you see it says the Socher team. I recommend it. Don't do that. Combine your business and your personal account and keep it as one. Ours got separated a long time ago, and I often wish that they weren't. I do have KW Greater Metropolitan in here. Remember our advertising rules. I'm not sure the division is going to come get me for not mentioning my brokerage, but in case they were going to, I've got it in there. I saw yesterday a keyboard shortcut to get realtor with the little R, which I'll find for everybody. I don't have it this minute, but I did see that yesterday and save that. And then I just wrote out agents. I've spent 16 years perfecting my marketing, so you don't have to. So right there, I've told who my audience is. In this case, in this account, my audience is agents. I'm telling you my authority by spending 16 years, And my promise is that you don't have to perfect your marketing. You can use the same marketing that I do. Neil Patel, famous marketer. He shows his niche, his authority, and his promise. He's a New York Times best-selling author, right? He's going to show you how to get to do what he does, because he's going to get you to his account. And of course, you can sign up for his thing, and you can be one of his 94,000 followers and learn how to be a top entrepreneur as well. Here's some other kinds of emojis, just so you see some other ones. We looked at JetBlue. They have a lot of emojis in theirs. Airbnb is big on hashtags in theirs, because a lot of people, of course, will use the hashtag Airbnb when they're staying at one. So these emojis can be, cute. They can break up the text, and they can just look, look in a way that somebody would want to look at your bio. Then the other thing is your call to action. What are you going to get people to do? We call that a CTA, a call to action. So your CTA here in this case for HelloFresh is try now and get $30 off your first box. So you want to have some kind of CTA in there, because you get one live link. And your live link, you want it to be something where you're sending people. You can send them to your KW website. You can send them to a different website that you have built out. You can send them to your YouTube channel, anything that you want. On my business account, you can see here that I have market updates and more with an arrow pointing. That's my call to action on our business account. And you can see that there's different ways to do the spacing. The spacing can go stacked like this, which is what I tend to prefer, but doesn't matter. I don't know if there's a science to it. Here's a sentence method where you just keep on talking and keep it going. And now I want you to say congrats, because you have your profile really ready. You have your account type set up. You have your picture good. You've nailed the name options, and you've crafted the very best bio, which has your promise and your authority and your niche all mentioned in the bio. Now, let's talk about content for a sec. We've gotten off the bio. We're going to talk about content briefly, and then we'll get to engagement. So your high performing content, quality photos only. I know you see all the creators out there are using blurry photos. Guess what? Those are like blurry high quality photos. They're specialized. They're not just random. Believe me, they're not just random. You want your photos and your content to build trust and confidence in what you do. And you want to show that you're an expert in your field. So if you're showing that you're an expert in a particular neighborhood, I saw Carol on this call, I think. Did I see Carol? I don't know. Anyway, when I see Carol's account and she's walking down the street in a neighborhood on live, talking about the neighborhood, I love that. She's showing that she's an expert in that neighborhood. And here's where we go, mix in your personal and your business. And I want you to think, to be able to do that purposefully, content categories. Now, when I went back and looked at my older Instagram posts, I had a lot of food, and I particularly think that food is very difficult to photograph. It almost always looks gross in pictures unless you're really good at it. And I am not a food blogger, as it happens. I'm a mother, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a wife. Well, all three of those things, maybe obviously. I have hobbies, I have things I like to do. That's how we mix in our personal and we mix in our business. And our business, what we're here doing is giving to our clients the things that they want to see in order to show that we're experts in our field. People love beautiful homes. They love beautiful bathrooms and kitchens, is my experience. And you need ultimately to fulfill whatever promise you've given in your bio. So when you're starting to post, before you hit go, think, does this fulfill the promise that I set out to do in the first place? Okay, now, before we wrap up, we got the tips and tricks I want to talk about for a minute here, which is like this. We all want lots and lots and lots of followers. I'm not sure why. It is a vanity metric. Anybody that comes into my account that looks even remotely fake and has like, Jill, no, not Jill. Hi, Jill. I think you're on this call. Brad _Smith 30, 32, and it shows like he's like, a fighter in Afghanistan, I block those people. I block lots of people every single day. I don't let them into my account. I don't want them on my account. I want the people who want to be there. And on that note, I'm actually not really that bummed out when my account following goes down, because that just means that those were not people that were ready to engage with me for what I have to offer. It's really fine with me. And the other thing is, if you were in book club the other day, you know that there's the lag measure and the lead measure. And the lag measure on Instagram is your number of followers. Your lag measure will go up, your number of followers will go up when you engage with people in this very, very, very purposeful way like this. You need to comment on 10 to 15 followers posts a day, not like just a little heart and not just a little like cute, like really engage with them. So if I see, somebody out with their dogs, I'm like, oh, they're really cute. What breed are they? Ask them a question and give them a chance to respond back to you. Really purposefully comment. This is the lead measure that will lead to the lag measure of increased followers. You need to have a CTA in every post. Remember, that's your call to action. Whether it's drop a comment, DM me. Which one do you like? Don't worry if it's quiet. It's going to be quiet in the beginning until you build up people who want to comment back on your posts. And then reply to every single person who comments on your content. So if somebody does comment, jump all over that. Thanks. Nice to hear from you. Which one do you like best, etc. Like I was watching this lady with smoothies and she had the craziest stuff she was putting in her smoothies. And I just asked her, what do you think about those powders? Those like green powders or whatever. I was curious, what you thought about it. And that became a whole long comment thread within her post. Well, that person now is more likely to come back and look at my content. And even though, frankly, I don't know if it's that relevant, but she may come back and comment on something of mine. Answer every single direct message, unless of course it's one of those bots that I was describing before, because those people do not deserve to be responded to, and those people you should block immediately. Build relatability, build relationships. This is the place to do it. Be the person that other people want to be in business with. I mean, you can be the giving person, the person in cool homes, the person who knows what she's doing, the person who can fix stuff. It just depends on what what drove you to be in real estate in the first place. Maybe kind of think back to that, and you can build relatability around that. And I think that this commenting, you got to give yourself, don't get lost in the weeds on this. Literally, it should take about 15 minutes a day. So part of your morning routine is to find 15 accounts to comment on. It could be hashtag Cleveland Living, hashtag this is CLE, whatever. If you're trying to search for that hashtag, find people who are posting under those and comment on those people to kind of engage in Cleveland is one idea. Or again, if you're in some sort of niche market, people that are working in that area. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but the more you comment on other people's posts, the more they will come back and engage with you, and the more your following will grow. So Riley, I think we had in here about, oh yeah, we do have a bonus that I want to share right away. And what I want to ask is, Riley's got a little link. I'm hoping he's going to drop in the chat, because if you could leave me a review on this class, I would really appreciate it. And I want to say that I have a bonus for you, which is how I plan our content. And I want to say that we consider them like pillars and buckets. And what's the difference between a pillar and a bucket? Well, in a house, a pillar is a pillar. It's an up and down thing. And a bucket is, well, I guess it's something that holds leaks, but it's also something that holds stuff that's not just leaks. It holds good stuff. So I have a link that we're dropping here. Here's our spreadsheet. This is free for everybody to use. Just click into it and you can make a copy. A pillar of content is like, Riley, can you unmute and just explain a pillar for us?
Yeah, so a pillar is basically like a large category of content that you want to use when you're posting. So example of a pillar could be like buyers or seller leads or something like that. So then all of the content that you use under that bucket should try to get you leads for buyers and sellers.
Wait, but you were talking about pillars versus buckets. What's a pillar? A pillar versus a bucket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so a pillar is basically just a broader version of a bucket. And so each pillar has buckets within it. So it's really just a way to really even niche down even further with your content planning.
Okay, so can you give an example of one of our pillars that you use?
Yeah, so one of our pillars that we use is, hold on. It's like team stuff. So since we are growing as a team, one of the pillars that we have is like showing how our team members have been successful and things like that.
Okay, and
like
then do we have a second?
Okay.
Do we behind the scenes? Okay, do we have a second pillar that we can share?
You're putting me on the spot here. Hold on.
I am. Well, I'll just say it like this. When I look at pillars, I'm thinking of super broad categories. So for me, it might be business, real estate business. It might be marketing class that I'm developing, and it might be my personal life. So those are my three huge pillars. But obviously lots of stuff falls into that. So then buckets might be my regular real estate business, might be buyers, sellers, houses. Well, that's really probably enough. Really, 3 buckets for that pillar would probably be enough, because then a lot of things are going to fall under those categories, and then we're going to sub niche down again and again and again. And I'm figuring out where I want to deliver that content, and then how frequently I want to deliver it. So can I ask, that's just in a nutshell, really in a nutshell, and you'll be able to see on the spreadsheet how we do it, and you do it for yourself. Real quick Q&A. Who's got a question for me? On that note, to not keep you here, I'm going to ask 3 people to unmute and tell me something. Tell me an aha or a takeaway of some sort. Anything that struck you. Shay, can I call on you? Because I see you. You're front of my screen.
So a takeaway that I took was in regards to our bio. So do a promise, authority, and a niche in the bio. I never actually thought about that, but I thought that that was like really good to kind of like when someone goes to my bio to actually know like what's my purpose, you know, on social media. So I thought that
I love that. Okay, I love that.
Shoshana, we have a question in the chat. It says, what tool do you use to automate your posts?
So we currently use Planoly. However, we will be getting out of Planoly before April 18th, because that's when my rollover bill date is. And I am leading with revenue and managing my P&L. And I've decided to move to Facebook Creator Studio because it's free and it does exactly the same thing. So just Google Facebook Creator Studio, find it. It's native within Facebook and Instagram. It's exactly free, and it's exactly the same thing as Planoly or Later. Now, if you're doing, or Planable for that much matter, if you are posting on multiple channels, if you're posting on Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, whatever, everything else under the sun, you might need Sprout Social or HubSpot or one of those kind of things. But if you are just posting on one platform, Instagram, then you do not need to pay for a tool, I don't think. Another takeaway, somebody else unmute and tell me something good. Tell me something you learned. Watch out, because Shay knows I'm going to call on you. Don't be shy.
Shoshana, it's Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I like your focus on making our name simple, searchable, and easy to find. and the whole thrust on making sure that we keep it simple and easy for people to follow us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's a really important point. Really, really, really important point. Karen, thank you. The index, is the index not clutch? The index is so clutch. The minute I figured out the index, I was like, oh my God. Such a big deal. Hey, everybody, thank you so much. Pop back up. First of all, wait a minute. Before we say anything, wrap. I cannot wait to see everybody Tuesday. I am such an in-person girl. I am really, really, really excited. I feel like we should have a big party, but I'm excited to be in person at our meeting.
Wednesday.
Sorry, Wednesday. I said Tuesday. I meant to say Wednesday. Whatever, Wednesday. I'll be there Wednesday or Tuesday. I'll be there any day it is. I'll be there Wednesday. And Becky, thank you. You like the contents and the pillars. I love that. Absolutely. So roll back up to the chat. If you would please take 1 second, leave me a review for this class. Mike, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was terrific, Shoshana. Thank you so much. Lots of good feedback in the chat if you didn't catch it. And I am sure you will be getting some follow-up from a lot of the folks who are on here. So thank you so much for, as always, being an open book as to how you do what you do and sharing your knowledge. And we appreciate it. And I'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday in person.
Can't wait. Bye, everybody.
See ya.